Okay. You remember earlier in the video series when I said not yet? Well, unfortunately, we've officially reached the yet. Penultimate. We have reached the 10th game in the Halo series. And of course, being the 10th video, we're going over Halo 5 Guardians. Today we're going to be playing Unconfirmed. I consider that my favorite level because it's where Spartan Locke and the Master Chief finally meet and clash. And, it's a great level overall. But of course, the ending cutscene is just so, spectacular. I mean, it's not mind blowing, of course, but it's one of those, it's one of those events where you just sit there with your mouth agape, just hanging open, just like stunning. I guess that would be the right word to describe it. So, I was going to talk at length about Halo 5 Guardians, all the things that I love and hate about it, but I honestly thought this level was going to be a lot harder than I remember. I only finished it in 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to skim it down to the abridged version. I'm going to have to speed things up a little bit. In terms of video games, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give Halo 5, ironically enough, a 5. I enjoy the campaign of the game, in terms of enemies and, I guess you could say, variety, and the plot was good. I mean, in my eyes, it's not a little heartbreaking, and I'll get to that in a minute. However, I'm not really that much fond of the multiplayer for a handful of reasons. But let me start from the beginning. When they were first announcing Halo 5, and they were talking about putting it on the Xbox One, and all the stuff they were going to do about it. To be honest, at first I wasn't planning on buying it. I was not planning on purchasing Halo 5. I thought I was just going to skip it and not deal. After finding out that there was no more split screen and taking out one of the most sacred qualities of the Halo franchise. And there was going to be microtransactions, and they were going to take out theater mode, or they didn't even have theater mode in Halo 4, but they weren't going to deal with it in Halo 5. It just seemed like 343 Industries didn't really think anything through. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like they were trying to push our buttons or something. And they obviously succeeded. Right off the bat, I'll tell you that. The community has been furious ever since. But one thing that changed my mind is the launch trailer, which played only 4 days before release, if I remember correctly. I had not learned that Spartan Locke would be the main protagonist of the game. I hadn't seen Halo Nightfall, the TV series, miniseries, or whatever you call it. Every person I talked to said it's like the worst thing ever made. And I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But, oh wow. I completely forgot about that. That knight just completely swatted my grenade all the way out of, into orbit. Nice job. So anyway, I hadn't seen Nightfall, and I planned to at some point, but I didn't know that Spartan Locke was going to be in the game, and I didn't really know if it existed because of it. So when the launch trailer came out, it was so immediately refreshing to not only see a new protagonist, but one of the very first things you see in the video is his face. And after so many years of playing as just John with his helmet on the back of his head, or playing as Noble 6, you know, just a number and nothing else, or playing as the Rookie, not even a name, just a whole bunch of nameless and nameless faces with no personality over the past 12 years. I was so happy to finally see someone underneath the helmet, underneath the mask. I don't know what you're thinking. Oh, you see plenty of Spartans without their helmets, you know, like the Reach team, and Buck, of course. He got upgraded to Spartan. You see plenty of people's faces and everything, but they're not you. You don't play any of those characters. Putting a face on the person you're controlling helps identify a hell of a lot better than just a nameless, generic voice. I understand that that's what they were doing when the game, when Halo first came out. To have an everyman to identify with, but we don't want that anymore. We want a face. We want emotions. We want human beings. Maybe not human beings, but we want personality. And that was one of the things that convinced me to pick up Halo 5. And I went out and got that ridiculously oversized collector's edition, the one with the big statue of Chief and Locke, which was really cool. It's so big I couldn't even fit it together in my room. I had to put it in separate pieces, separate house. But that was one of the things that irked and disappointed me, of course, that night it came out. I was able to pick it up early, of course, since GameStop, they don't do the Midnight Madness thing anymore. They'll just let you have it early. But I get home and I've got this, what, $300, $400 massive case in my hand. And it's got all these features on it. I'm sitting here thinking, where's the disc?
This area is secured.
It's a download code, a digital download code.
A door blocking our way at this location.
To download the game over the internet. And I understand that digital is more convenient, but not in everyone's case. It took 21 and a half hours to download this 90 gigabyte monolith onto my hard drive. 21 and a half hours. So yeah, I did not enjoy that. Getting back to the story, I enjoyed, I enjoyed Master Chief leaving the UNSC, essentially going against orders to try and find out that Cortana was alive. Like I said in the previous game, I was certain that Cortana was going to die here, but I was wrong. She died in the previous game. But then when they brought her back, I'm thinking, okay, this could be interesting. Unfortunately,
Turret's on and firing.
they 343 set up a very heartbreaking account into what happened. You know, they brought Cortana back, but they brought her back corrupt. And she ends up basically becoming one of the very megalomaniacs, as she quoted herself so long ago, that she had helped Chief stop over the years. And I wasn't really a fan of that, because it manipulated my emotions. All the great memories I've had, you know, meeting her, putting her in my head for the first time, keep your head down, all the amazing stuff that happened over the past 10 years. It just kept simmering, erasing it from my mind until the only thing I could think was, I have to kill her. I'm gonna kill her. And I didn't think it was a good idea to turn such a beloved character into the main villain, the biggest villain of the Reclaimer saga. I was gonna say trilogy, but 343 says they're gonna keep going with this, so who knows what they're gonna do. Sorry, looks like my video's having some trouble here. You know what they say, when you pay for the best, you get the worst. Anyway, despite Cortana's rampancy and betrayal and everything, the campaign itself was still fun. You know, it felt good to be going back to the Halo 2 roots of alternating characters and storylines. And the squad mentality that they have here was a neat addition. If not a little lacking in information. You know, if they tell you to press up to, you know, send people to attack, and they don't really follow orders that well. You know, if you send somebody to attack, they'll come up with a reason that they can't, or they'll just, you know, stand there firing whatever weak weapon they have, and you know, if you get knocked down, they'll come to revive you, but it's such a gamble, because most of the time they end up getting lost or getting confused or something, and it's kind of worrisome. And they don't tell us everything either. I didn't find out until months and months and months later. In fact, it was after I beat the game on Heroic. It wasn't until then that I found out that you can actually send a squad to pick up weapons on the floor. Which I really wish I had found out long and long ago. I mean, Vale using a plasma pistol and Tanaka using a magnet. That's not going to do any good.
Systems down!
Suit failure! That's it, Locke.
I'm up. Thanks.
But the campaign itself was fun.
Back up now.
Definitely seeing the Manchester come back, and they made that nice, that really good remix of the Manchester theme with Walk Softly. I was so happy when I heard that.
Eliminate that knife.
You know, I was thinking, oh my God, they really do listen. They really do care. That's at least one good thing about 343 Industries.
Area's clear. Move into the structure.
They are willing to take responsibility and clean up their messes when they can. But unfortunately, a lot of these messes are pretty big, and some that shouldn't have been made in the first place. Which brings me to multiplayer.
You know, we've seen Promethean attacks since Requiem.
Multiplayer is,
no record of any this intense.
quite frankly, a mess.
Something riled them up, that's for sure.
The matchmaking system
Similar design
is
to a
anything
monk.
but.
Non-communicative.
The
They don't seem interested in us.
what do you call it? The restrictions and stuff that they add on there, they don't really help. You get temporarily banned for quitting a game, even if it wasn't your fault. Like if you got disconnected or if you lost power or something like that, like a power surge, you would still be stuck in the main menu for 15
Why wouldn't
minutes.
Sloan report a find of this size?
You know, they don't really have a reporting system outside of Xbox Live itself, and they don't really do anything. And
They didn't have to sweet talk
and the
Sloan
ranking
either.
is just terrible.
You think Sloan
It's
let them down
it's
here?
not even
Reckon
worth
it's
my
a
time.
possibility.
I like
But not a certainty.
I don't play
Sloan's hiding
competitive
something.
multiplayer
We'll go
very
out on a map
often
and
because
investigate the
of
structure.
features like this, and I'll tell you why. One thing I've always enjoyed ever since Halo 2 was SWAT. You know, and they have ranked SWAT in Halo 5, but the balance, there's no balance in there. I was gonna say the balance is terrible, but you'd have to have balance for it to be bad. There's just none. I can't tell you how many times I join in as unranked or as diamond or whatever moderate rank and come up against these, you know, gold, ruby, onyx, all these high-ranking top Halo players who've been starting the season or whatever ever since day one and have been playing non-stop. One game in particular, one game that almost made me quit Halo 5 altogether. I like the little thing there. Warden jumps down. I'll get to him in a minute. One time I tried to play a SWAT match, and you know how when you have to play your first 10 games are unranked, you have to play 10 to receive your first standing. On my third unranked game, it was myself and I think 2 gold. I don't remember the ranks of my team, but the point was I was going up against 4 champions, as in 4 HCS winners from the previous season. And I looked them up, and it was an actual professional gaming team. All 4 of them in a professional gaming team together. How much sense does it make that someone who is unranked and technically hasn't even started gameplay for their for that season ends up against a professional video game team who won the professional championship for the previous season? How is that fair and balanced? How does that make any sense? How does that even happen?
The Warden Eternal.
It's ridiculous. And that was one of the things that you know, that's why I avoid playing
Another quake.
multiplayer.
Bad news. Should get moving.
Warzone is
No warden
essentially
was
the
protecting
same
whatever lies
thing.
beyond
It's
those
pay to win.
Because
You can get gold
Cortana is
requisitions
connected to
from
this
those
Guardian That
rec
makes him the
points,
Master Chief's
but
most likely target.
it's been proven,
find
you
him.
know, that
We find him.
the
Let's go.
stuff that you get from rec packs you buy with your own money pay out better and more often than the stuff that you use with the rec points you get for free. And I hate pay to win. Well, I don't think I've ever met anybody who doesn't, except for the rich kids, whose parents have black credit cards, limitless black cards. I do, however, for how much I hate Warzone, I do, however, enjoy Warzone Firefight. At least people work together in that one. I love this cutscene here. They, excuse me. This cutscene here, they make such a big deal of the Master Chief and Locke meeting and having an epic battle, and all the ads and the campaigns and all the stories and lore and stuff like that. But this is where it actually happens. You know, Locke is just walking along trying to find the Guardian, and the Chief and Blue Team just pop up out of nowhere and they have that perfect "oh shit" moment where everyone just has to break what they're doing and just run like hell to get to their objective. And of course, here comes the fight. This is one of those. This is one of those moments where you just itching for something to happen. You don't know what's going to happen next, and you're just stock still. I mean, the rest of the Fire Team Osiris, they're pointing their guns at him, but they're not moving an inch. I don't think they even wanted to open fire. Because, to be honest, watching a scene like that, there's only one comparison that comes to mind.
Do you wanna...
Yes. Wait, were you gonna say watch?
I was gonna say help.
Shut up.
I mean, look at that. They had their shot. But, honestly, it's just so stunning. You have to watch it. It's like watching, I don't know, watching your dad fight your superhero or something. You want to do something, but you can't. And I know a lot of people said that the fight was really clumsy and disorganized, but look at these guys. They're wearing 2,000 pounds of armor. It's not going to be all Kung Fu style, wire CG, stuff like that. Man, that was a great scene. And, of course, the Guardians waking up. You know, they had that metal Guardian die-cast thing in the little collector's box. And I thought that was a good idea, but then I opened up the box, and it's in a million pieces. Do you know how many pieces the Guardian comes in? I would not have... I have carpal tunnel. There's no way I'd be able to put all that together. So it's, you know, in its original packaging, just sitting somewhere. It won't be used for a while. And this is where Buck shows his age. He's getting too old for this shit. The grizzled war veteran. Good thing Locke caught on. Alright then, we're reaching the end of our video series here. We've only got one clip, only got one game left. And I tell you, it is gonna be one hell of a doozy.